Hare Krishna. Today we are seeing about Shikchashtak verses of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He instructed his disciples to write books on the science of Krishna, a task which his followers have continued to carry it out down to the present day. The elaborations on the philosophy taught by Lord Chaitanya are, in fact, most um, detailed, exacting, and consistent due to the parampara system, like the disciplic succession, the unbroken chain. It's not that the chain will always remain intact; it may break at any time. Then these teachings will have no value. They will have no practical application in the life. So these are the texts of Shikshashtak, and there are eight in number. And although Lord Chaitanya was widely renowned as a scholar in his youth, he left only eight verses called Shikshashtak. He did not write any purports on Bhagavatam, nor did he write any expansion of Bhagavatam book, the Grantha Bhagavatam. He wrote only eight verses when he left the earth planet. So these are the verses by Lord Chaitanya, and these eight verses create they reveal his mission and precepts. The the supremely now the prayers of Shikshashtakam are as follows. Now we'll see one by one. Today we'll see the first shloka, and for 8 days we will see one by one the shloka, so that we understand properly what is the what does each word indicate. Now, this Shashtak is for evolved people. It is not just for anyone who is seeking to search the truth. These verses are for him. So these are not ordinary verses, and only people who are interested in pursuing of in depth, great depth, and have interest, some interest, may understand this. So, in order that we understand these verses, if you read, then you should understand it. So, if you have read this verse, then you should know how important it is for any individual um, who would want to know about the uh, spiritual world, and how to what is the purpose of knowing the spiritual world, and then further things. So the first shloka is Cheto Darpan Marjanam Bhav Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. Cheto Darpan Marjanam. So glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan. Cheto Darpan Marjanam. What is the meaning of it? That this um, this Cheto Darpan, if you go to see the literal meanings, Cheto, Darpan, and Marjanam. So you will not get it by series. So this is a Sanskrit verse. So you read the entire verse. If you just read Cheto Darpan, then you'll not understand anything from that. And then Marjanam and Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. At first, you can just read it, you'll not understand anything. It seems like mere Sanskrit words. So Shreya Kairo Chandrika Vitaranam Vidya Vadhu Jivanam. So glory to the Sankirtan moment of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who that what does this moment do? It cleanses heart of all dust accumulated for years. What does this movement do? It cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. So, first of all, it is important to know that if you read this, then instantly there must be some understanding if you are hearing properly. Otherwise, you will not understand what is this repeated birth and death. So you have to believe in the basic systems first. Before that, you have to read other books which will give you, you can read Bhagavad Gita to start with, and in that Bhagavad Gita, then you can come to this Shikshashtak verses. Or if you are reading a Bhagavad Gita from bona fide source, then this Understanding must come to you that there is something called as repeated birth and death, and what is it? Why is it? So that is important. We know we have to ponder on this. What is repeated birth and death, and why does it happen? And this, knowing this once, then uh, you have a basic understanding, a foundation before knowing this, reading this verse, so it comes to you very easily that okay, this is the problem of the uh, of repeated birth and death. So for whom this is spoken? This is spoken for those people suffering in this misery of the world, of this material world. They are suffering. And what is the misery? The one would ask, is it lack of money? What is the misery about? Is it lack of money, lack of good family, or a lack of health? So what is the misery about? We never know. We never know what is the misery. We think that not having good association, not having good family, or not having money, or not having riches. So these are people have such miseries. They think this is a misery, and when they see it with others, they think they are happy. We are not. So what is the happiness about? And then what is misery? So misery is here in the scripture. It is told the misery is repeated birth and death. So, for one who is already believing that the soul after he dies has to again come back in some species, so for him it is easy to understand. But those who think that life is momentary and only now this is the only life, and after that we are directly going eternally to the Swarga, heaven. So in Vedas, the Swarga is mentioned, and Swarga means it is literally called as heaven in Vedas. So Vedas purports you cannot understand the Vedas. So the essence of Vedas is Upanishads. So the to make it easy, Upanishads are there, and then the Gita, Bhagavad Gita is one of that. So we are reading Bhagavad Gita, which is the essence of Vedas. In Bhagavad Gita, if you are reading from a bona fide source, then you must know what is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita or introducing Bhagavad Gita to the mankind. Now there are many people who are reading Bhagavad Gita and they have their own understanding of what is Bhagavad Gita about. They say Lord spoke to the person called as Arjun. Now, who is the Lord? They know, they accept that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He spoke to Arjun. Then only that much. And what he spoke, that in depth, no one thinks about it. They just tell that he was tortured by his kinsmen, and he was literally brought to the point of verge of, you must die now by his kinsmen, and the Lord came to his rescue. So that is the general understanding that the Lord helps, but in deep, no one reads it on a majority level. Even those who are having such books, they do not know Bhagavad Gita to the to great detail. So, what is the real purpose of Bhagavad Gita? We must understand it. Why was it spoken, and what was the need of it? So there are various people who read and they think they understand, and they may be right also. But the real reason must be sought out, and it could be conditional or subjective. That is okay, but still we must know objective of that Bhagavad Gita. So there are many various ways you can consider about this grantha, and in each way it gives out a new beauty, and you are impressed every moment that how the Lord is so thoughtful. He has given this, and they have such a deep meaning if you reflect on those verses. And it has not to be according to your understanding that this it might be like this or it might be like that. Whatever verse is there, and if you read the explanation of the translation and then the explanation of it, then you will understand that um, what is the viewpoint when this verse is spoken. When did the Lord feel the need to speak? The Lord will not do prajalpa like us. So when does he speak? And which verse he spoke at what time? We are used to doing a lot of prajalpa. But this is Shri Bhagavanu Vacha. So definitely he is not doing some prajalpa. He is speaking directly to the person in need. And who is that person in need? He is Arjuna. So anybody can be in the position of Arjun when he's baffled in his worldly duties or the worldly conduct or about the material world that he lives in. What is the world for? What is he existing for? Why is he in such a situation? And all such things. Many of the people read Bhagavad Gita at such times, majority of them. Even I have read Bhagavad Gita when I was distressed, and distressed means I was like, I'm not doing any scripture reading. That was the point, not otherwise. That I'm not doing any reading. Everybody is reading Bhagavad Gita, but I never read it the way. So I turned the pages, I opened the book, and I went through it. Not because distress was that many are reading, I'm not reading. So what is it about? And I thought, I know the Bhagavad Gita shlokas. So what is the need to read all those 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita? The Bhakti Yoga is the only chapter that is important. So that was the impression we were given, that the 12th chapter, that is Bhakti Yoga, is the most important because of Bhagavad Gita chapters, which is also true. But you have to know each and every verse of Bhagavad Gita. That is the beauty of Bhagavad Gita, because it is for your practical application in day-to-day life. And what is the practical application? Like many times, like first of all, it is for the material world and it is from the Lord's kingdom. So there definitely it is not material. It is connected to the soul and the Lord. Though it is for the material world only, it has it has been told to Arjuna, who was suffering in this material world, the material way, the material problems that came in the way of a soul's duty. So this Bhagavad Gita was spoken at that time. So we have to read this thoroughly. Then in that, from that you can understand what is birth and death and why it is being talked about. Why to talk when we are living life, we are fully conscious, everything is going on. Why think of death all the time? What is death? Isn't it? So why this death is so much talked about? Birth and death, the conditional life. So this Krishna Sankirtan moment of this Lord Krishna, the Lord Chaitanya, it extinguishes the fire of conditional life. What is the conditional life? Birth, repeated birth and death. So then we have to think. Then even any normal intelligent person would think about this. So what is this? This conditional life? What is the conditioning about? The conditioning is about identifying yourself with a designation that we know by now. Everybody knows it. But people are not able to accept it because of some fear. They think, why do I need to think like this? When I am all happy with my family and all, then why do I think that I am a conditioned soul? So, this is the normal way of people's. They think like that. Everything is going on nice. So, what is the need to think about conditional life? The fire of conditional life. And why do I need to think about this now? Everything is happy, children are there, husband is there nicely, the family is running, everything is nice, the friends are coming, families are all together, events are happening. So this is all life. But what does one more need for a happy family and all life? Luxuries are there without any efforts. So what is the need of all this? Why do I think of death and birth? Who is going to take birth now? Nobody is. We all are, children are grown up now. So what is birth and then what is death? No, why do we want to think of death? Who will die now? Means the normal man is so conditioned. He's so conditioned. And what and he has to understand, and for that he has to accept it. And how when will you accept? When you accept that this is for a human being and something of our requirement, the need. Hmm? Why does only now there are many people who are practicing devotion and they are like the normal way is that they are devotees, but then that is how they are. Their life is like that. And why do I need to think about it on that deeper level? They are devotees, but I am a family man. But what about you? Why is he a devotee and why are you a family man? So that also one must think about. So the selfishness is the center of all the things that one does in this material world. Being selfish is not bad. One must understand this. So if I tell anyone, you must read Bhagavad Gita, then he said, what do I need for all those reasons mentioned? Then you have to say, you have to be selfish. Then he will say, What are you saying? I know this Mahatmas, the sadhus, they are the most benevolent, they're the most noble people. Hmm? And you are asking me to be selfish so that you can read Bhagavad Gita? That is the way. Because to explain them, we cannot have any other better way. They will not understand the necessity of reading it. So you have to tell, be selfish, think for yourself, and then read it. Then they'll ask, selfish? Why? The devotee is never selfish, the sadhu is never selfish. He is always working for the upliftment of the society and other people. He is a very noble person. That is the general way, and they get looted, poor people. They don't understand unless they are knocked down heavily with so many problems that they never anticipated, and they land into trouble and problems, and then they turn towards, oh, somebody had said me this. Be selfish, try to know the reason of your own, why you should be selfish, and read it. What is the selfishness about? That this is the truth. The truth must be made to be understood, whether somehow or the other. So real friend, if you have a real friend, he will open your eyes. But if you have just friends for the sake of friendship, they will only chit chat, enjoy with you. They'll talk everything except the real purpose of life, and they just want a nice time, and it's okay. Why not? So you can have that, but you should know that the real friends would wake you up, and open your eyes. Open your eyes means were you sleeping until now? So what is the opening of the eyes? The opening of the eyes is the real purpose of the origin and the truth about life. And it's those who are fanatics only worry about the truth, and it is not so. Those who are real fanatics, they worry about the truth. So if you make them understand, then one person can come out of this bondage, and he can be helped. So it is about up to you how you make others understand, and convince them in the best possible way, that they'll be always favorable to you till always they'll remember you and be favorable to you. In such a way, if you open their eyes, then there's no reason that anybody should deviate from this duty of his duty in this human life. And what is the purpose of the life? That must be made to they, they must be made to understand. And on a general scale, many people, they do understand, they see that we are supposed to finish away with this family business and go back to the Lord. They say, they know, they understand, but the practical aspect of it, no one follows and is able to. And that is the real pain in this area. Many people talk, many people give speeches, but who is there to practically lead you through all this? That is very important. The practical, it's all about practical thing, because the karmas are all because of this body. I am the body feeling. So I do the work because I think I'm body. If I didn't have this consciousness, then there must have been an elevated thing in my mind. And what is that? I'm related to the Lord, and my dharma is only doing devotion. And then of course, then there should be a practical result. Therefore, that the practical process must be followed. And this bhakti is all about practical realization. So how to come to that, and how do we get it? And it is not a task of one person. You have to do this bhakti in a collective way. So that is why this is the first shloka of Shikchashtak, the glory of Sankirtan moment. Chito Darpan Marjanam. Bhavamahadavagni Nirvapana. Shreya Kairav Chandrika Vitaranam Vidya Vadhu Jivanam. So this movement is like a benediction for humanity, because it, what does it gives away? The rays of moon, the benediction moon. Well, the rays of benediction moon. Now everything here in this material world seems like uh, inanimate thing. So now the person who is reading it the first time is saying moon and rays, and what is all this? So for that you have to understand that this is the way of the material world. Everything looks inanimate. And when you say moon, then suddenly the sky and the night sky and the moon that shines. So all such things. and then you are far away from the practical aspect of devotion because you get stuck in this, and immediately it hits your mind. And the way we are conditioned, it gives more and more, um, it gives you more and more challenges to understand it. And if you do not understand, you cannot go further. The understanding it is important. So this is the life of all the transcendental knowledge, they say. Here it is said that the Sankirtan movement, it is a prime benediction for humanity, and it spreads the moon-like rays. What are moon-like rays? Cool. The coolness of the moonlight, the rays. So this is the life of all the transcendental knowledge. In Bhagavad Gita, there is a Guhya, what is that? Guhya Jnana, the secret confidential knowledge. I think it is ninth chapter. I don't remember, but it that is the Guhya Jnana is there in Bhagavad Gita. So, and here it is saying Vidyavadu Jivana means that is the life of all the transcendental knowledge. What Sankirtan movement? So how? So what is Sankirtan movement? We have to understand it. If it is the life of all the transcendental knowledge, then what do we understand about it? What is Sankirtan? It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Then there we are here that is said we are, it enables to fully taste nectar for which we are always anxious. Are we anxious for that nectar? What is that nectar they are talking about here? It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss. Hmm? So Anand Ambudhi Vardhanam Pratipadam, and how every moment, and what is it doing? Purnamrita Swadanam means it bestows the full nectar on each one participating in that, for which we are anxious. Sarvatma Snapadana, it drowns them in that bliss. So, and in this way, it is victorious then, this moment. So, what is that nectar? Are we anxious over it? What is that nectar they are talking about? Sarvatma Snapana. And then Purnamrita Swadanam. Purnamrita Swadanam means full nectar. You relish the full nectar. What is that nectar here they are talking about? So this is the first shloka that Mahaprabhu left of those 8 verses. This is the first shloka of those 8 verses. So we have to think deeply on that. And this, unless you read the Bhagavad Gita thoroughly, everybody means our general way of looking at Bhagavad Gita is, I know that now it is a basic scripture, and once I am done, now I'm done with it. I don't need to read it more. But that is not so. Bhagavad Gita is a very deep scriptural philosophy, and the importance of it is realized by those who read it very seriously and thoroughly. So, if you think that Bhagavad Gita, I know everything about Bhagavad Gita, and it is all talking about the death after the birth again of a soul after the death. That is the prime. They will say like this. So each one has his own objective of reading Bhagavad Gita and understanding. They say Bhagavad Gita is to explain people, those who don't believe in birth after death. They say soul becomes eternal. That is their concept. It is not eternal. They think that after death, after one dies, he goes to heaven. Now look at your karmas, what you are performing, and will you go to heaven with this kind of karmas? What are the karmas you are doing? First of all, you are tired in the whole day. You get tired sitting. So this is also karma. Have you ever realized that I'm tired sitting? What kind of consciousness is this body having? आराम क्यों नहीं मिल रहा? Why I'm not feeling pleasure? Why I don't feel um, at ease in my own house? I'm tired sitting in my own house. Now everything is there. One should be happy that he has no work and sitting, so relaxing, and the mood should be light and good. But just you're sitting and you're experiencing that I'm tired, and then there is a sorrow. Some head is paining or leg is paining, so there is a sorrow. So again, these are the karmas, and it will take you to the heaven after death. So basic understanding, people immediately, without thinking, they tell that even I would do so if I would not have further shown some interest in reading the book and trying to understand and understand and this understanding and the challenge takes you to a different direction altogether, and it is very interesting to know how the things shape up in the process and how you are led to another new thing in the process. And it is very strange, and it is even more strange when we accept it that yes, this could be a possibility. I never imagined in life there could be such surprises. So in this way, your maturity increases, and when maturity is all that needed, otherwise you would speak any nonsense thing to anybody. If you meet, if you happen to meet anyone, then you can't continue the same shit that you did in the youth and the young age, like talking anything, and then just casually just patting on the shoulder and then laughing, and what is all this? So when you're grown up, at least there must be some maturity, some knowledge that this body may not stay longer. The next moment I'll go to heaven. Not like that. Next moment I may go to heaven. So this is not knowledge. So one must try to find out what is the process after death. Where shall I go, and where shall I be? What shall I be doing? And this distress and this is this karma. So all life we have learned that I must be excelling at my work. I should be excelling. Where has that gone? Why don't you excel sitting on the sofa? What are you sitting and thinking, pondering, just experiencing some body pain and all? So where has that gone? That fervor of the youth. I should be excelling at this. I should be, that demanding and all that kind of things. Where has it diminished? So they say with old age this happens. So with old age this happens. With old age this does not happen. The scriptures come to help you. With old age, things deteriorate. You even forget what you are passionate about. You were passionate about some acquiring some skills. You were passionate about doing some, you know, something new. I want to do something new. Each was that madness each time. This has already been done now, so I want to do something new. Where has all that gone? So you're losing the qualities with age. Then how? What kind of life is this? If you have good qualities, they must stay with you throughout. But they are declining. They are deteriorating, and your health is also not supporting you. So that youth fervor, I can do anything, I can bring the whole world down. Such things come in the youth mind, and they are full of that passion, the जोश होता है. तो उस जोश में वे लोग काम करते हैं और मस्त, they are so happy in the youth. They are always happy about passion for something, excelling. I can do this. I am going to do, and I am mature. I can break the whole thing down. I will do it in my way, in a newer way. So this madness is there. Then where it declines. So then what is the purpose of living like this? And then for sure, if you read in the book, then it will disturb you if you do not have a proper understanding. Oh my god, if the ego is hurt, then oh my god, after death I shall lose everything. Oh my, after death I will lose everything. And if the knowledge is not there, that one goes to heaven according to Vedas, that one goes to Swarga. They call it Swarga for, but those who are intelligent, they know what is Swarga there. They'll not take it as heaven. They will try to find the whole meaning of it and then come to the conclusion what is the ultimate purpose of this Vedas even. Why is this Vedas fooling us to behave in a certain way, as a gentleman, and do all good duties according to the religion or whatever, the dharma, whatever they may understand, people may understand. It will be different for each person. We cannot have a one thing for everyone. There cannot be one thing for everyone. So this is the confusion about Vedas. So further than that, we have a Bhagavad Gita, and then we have the Shikchashtak verses of Shriman Mahaprabhu, the 8 verses. And if you are reading Bhagavad Gita from the right source, then you will find this information. You must find this information of Shikshashtak mentioned there. Otherwise, you are missing out on very important aspect of Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is for material world, and it is scripture related to the soul and the super soul they see. And we have to always find